Hey guys, how's it going? So this morning Erin and I are out at my parents' house getting ready to plant some bulbs in the containers that line their driveway. This is what they look like, and these are their two kitties, Scout and CS. But you can see they line their whole driveway. There are 12 of them total. Last year we planted up purple fountain grass and Supertunia Vista snowdrift in every single one of these, and they were gorgeous. This year they went in with a Colorado blue spruce. I don't know if that's the exact variety. Maybe it's a Montgomery spruce. Anyway, blue spruce topiary, and they underplanted them with Supertunia honey and a Super Bells, like maybe dreamsicle. And they were really pretty, that kind of blue and orange mix. And today we're planting tulips in these planters. And they're not your traditional type tulips. These are called Turkestanica. We'll put the spelling on the screen. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. These are more like a wild looking tulip. They usually have a bunch of blooms per stem. They grow about 8 to 10 inches tall, which I think is going to be the proper ratio, height ratio, because we still want to see that the spruces are a topiary. We want to see the trunk still, and we want the proportions to look proper. And we've got 1,000 of these bulbs, so that means I could pack 83 of them in each container. Never say never, but I don't think I'm going to be able to put that many in. They do recommend that you plant them very thickly, and I'm pretty good at planting things thick, so we'll just see how it goes. And we did get these bulbs from Color Blends. That's where we get the majority of our bulbs. A lot of you guys have been asking us that lately. We've been planting theirs for about 4 years now, and they've got really good prices if you want, especially if you want to buy like big amounts for big projects. And I've been really happy. Like the daffodil bulbs they're huge, and there's usually there's anywhere from 2 to 4 in each cluster of bulbs, so you don't just get one daffodil bloom per bulb, you get between 2 and 4, which is pretty amazing. So I do need to go in and kind of assess what the soil is like. My dad did clean them out of the plants, but I think there still might be some roots. He told me there's a few roots left in there, but the soil's pretty loose. I don't know. But I thought after we were done, we could run through their garden and I could just show you a few fall highlights. First off, let's see what's going on over here. Well, he did remove the tops of the plants. It looks like there are some roots in here. Soil's not particularly loose. Dang. I did bring a little fork so we could go in and kind of rough up the soil. They only need to be planted 4 inches deep. Okay, so what I think is going to work the best is to go through, rough up the soil in all of them, clean out the rest of the root balls that are in there, and then we'll go through, put bulb tone fertilizer in. We'll plant the bulbs as deep as we can get them, and then I did bring a bunch of potting soil to top them up. So here's all my stuff right here. I'll go through, rough up the soil. We'll go through with our bulb tone, apply a layer of that. Then we'll go in it with our bulbs. They are really small. Look at that. Should be pretty easy to plant. And then we'll top them up with potting soil. And Aaron is in here. He's gonna help me. We got them all planted up and we were able to fit all 1,000 bulbs in these containers. I don't know what I was thinking. Those bulbs are so much smaller than traditional tulip bulbs that it was easy. In fact, they're spaced out pretty good too. I think it's going to be a gorgeous show. And my parents did know that I was going to plant these. I asked if I could come out and put some stuff in here, and I don't think they know exactly what I put in there though. I'll tell them. But I do want to sneak some daffodils, I think, out here later. My dad's favorite variety is Ice Follies, and I had quite a few left over from our project with our containers along the east fence line of our property. So I thought, oh, it'd be fun to sneak out here, pop some in the ground in just some unexpected areas and just give them a surprise for spring. And I hope you guys don't get sick of all the bulb planting. There's just such massive seasonality to what we do. You know, typically with fall bulbs, we try to knock that project out pretty quick. This year's a little bit different. Every year is. So we've got quite a number of bulbs yet to plant. And we will link this tulip bulb down below. We'll link you to Colorblend's website. I do think that they're sold out of quite a lot, but they've got some things still available. And honestly, like ideally you would be planting bulbs when it's like the nighttime lows are still in the 40s, but you can plant bulbs as long as you can still get a hole dug in the ground. So don't worry too much about that. You can also pop them in the refrigerator and force them and plant them in containers, or plant them in containers now. We've done a video about that. Anyway, it's all really exciting. It's like not the most fun chore to do in the fall, but it's so worth every bit of effort. We should now go into the garden and take a look at some pretty fall stuff. So right here in the entrance, there's an Autumn Brilliance serviceberry, which got a little bit damaged in that one really cold night we had, but you can see what the whole thing looked like right before that happened. Look at the fall color on this plant. I planted one of these trees on our west side, kind of in the corner. It's much smaller than this one, but I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, so beautiful. And especially when you're layering it. You know, we've got a boxwood here, there's a tricolor beech up there, blue spruce, this beautiful serviceberry. And as we walk in, this is another really beautiful area. I love that you can walk in and you just see the sharp structure of the boxwoods, and then there are birch trees. And they've got really nice color right now. Sweet Autumn Clematis in all four corners, which they'll probably be cutting theirs back here pretty quick. We're going to cut ours back today, actually, so the seeds don't fly. Many of you have told me how invasive Sweet Autumn Clematis is in your garden, and I totally get it. It can be. The way I control it in ours is I always try to cut mine all the way down, like down to the ground in the fall before the seeds start flying through the air and seeding them, so like landing everywhere in my garden. And that way you eliminate that whole possibility. And it keeps mine contained, and then I can enjoy that kind of late summer, early fall bloom time still, and the vigorous. I like to have some vines in some areas that are very vigorous, because, you know, I cut them off at the ground every year and then they come back fresh and beautiful, and there's no woody stems and all of that business. So I feel like there is a place, as long as you time it right and get them cut back at the right time. Right here is one of my favorite views, always has been, in the whole garden. I'm standing here on the deck. Looks like they've just recently cleaned out the containers on the pillars. The beautiful carpet of leaves. There's something about it. It's just so beautiful. But this is a silver maple, and when the sun goes through this canopy just right, it's like the most it's the most gorgeous show. It just glows. It really makes the whole like structure of the tree look like a silhouette, and it's absolutely just stunning. Look through the branches there with the light shining through. Oh, it's just so beautiful. And then peeking over the fence into the vegetable garden, you can see the apricot tree, which that's one of the very few originals. Actually, the silver maple, this apricot tree, and then the honey locust, which I can show you in a second, are the only original trees, I think, left on this property from when we moved in. But absolutely gorgeous color on that. And that's the big locust tree right there. It's kind of over the corner of the house and the deck area. And here is this little side garden that I love, the black bench in the background. There are little Mount Bruno boxwoods here that go around in a circle around this central pillar. And just the layer of silver maple leaves is so pretty. It just looks like a cozy little blanket, and I love the color. Especially when you see like the Japanese maple peeking out, and then the structure of the boxwoods. Ugh. Looking down this way, look at the coralberry hedge right here. Oh, not coralberry. Yes, coralberry. Oh, and there's Scout. Hey, kitty. And then right below that, pink mums. Oh, that was a kind of a perfect pairing, isn't it? Look at this. I wonder if these are the Proudberry variety. I have this plant. It looks almost identical. It might be identical. I don't know. And the crab apple is stunning. And it looks like this. These are persistent crab apples, meaning that they don't fall off. So they usually stay on the tree all winter long, providing feed for birds, and they look beautiful contrasting the snow. And they rarely make a mess because the birds just slick them right up. This is the wonderful thing about a mature garden. Like, everything is just like beautiful and big and lush. Okay, I had to pop back over here to the coralberry. Look at this. Holy moly. Mine is acting this way this year too. I wonder if we've just had a really favorable year for these plants. But boy, those are beautiful. Aren't they, Scout? Yeah. And I'm just giving you a couple highlights today because we don't have time to do a full tour. Maybe we'll be able to come back out here later. We kind of missed the window for like peak fall color, but there's still a lot of beautiful things to see really in terms of winter structure, because this garden is chock full of really good winter bones, which is something I'm really trying to work on in our garden. And I've always loved this pyracantha. I mean, look at how gorgeous that is. It's nice to have things like these tucked away in the garden, especially if you like to make arrangements for the house. Because you can come out here, cut a few branches, you don't even notice they're gone. In fact, a lot of the time we gather from down below, so the top still maintains that beautiful color, and you don't even miss any of this stuff that's kind of laying on the ground, and then you can create something gorgeous and really seasonal looking. Here's a view back down at the area with the birch trees and sweet autumn clematis. There are spring snow crabapple trees there, and a really old lilac right here that have kind of created this beautiful natural arch. And a last view looking back across the back garden, you can see the apricot tree peeking up over the top. They've been doing a lot of fall clean out like we've been doing at our own house, and the fountains have been shut off. It's still beautiful. Anyway, guys, that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed seeing this project. I cannot wait to give you a tour in the spring. I really went heavy on early spring bloomers this year rather than a lot of tulips. I do have a few tulips put in the ground, but I did a lot. I ordered a lot of daffodils, a lot of snowdrops, just some things that will come up a lot earlier, because I feel like over the past few years I've really aired heavy on tulips that bloom mid to late season, and I really want to amp up my early spring show. So anyway, thank you so much for watching this video, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.